Hello and welcome back. I am Arumba. Thank you for joining me. Let's play some more of our Scottish War for England's lands with FilthyRobot. How's it going, Filthy?
I'm doing well.
So, it's a bad thing. Do you want to tell? I mean, it was my fault.
You have a confession to make. You need to confess to the viewers what just happened.
Okay, I'll show them what happened. I have been doing this between every episode. I press the escape key. I go to save game and I record. We keep backup saves. Right, just in case if anything bad happens. We've had power issues and we've had internet issues with
connectivity issues. Yeah.
With Filthy, so I'm very cautious with this campaign. Every single episode we've been taking a save. So my natural reaction at the end of the last episode was press the escape key and take a save. And press the escape key seems to have made the dialogue about the Castilian intervention disappear, and they've joined the war.
2 months earlier than we were hoping for.
Yeah. So that choice has been removed from our control. So
all right, let's hope France is feeling frisky because we need someone to do some.
Well, here's what I'm hoping is going to happen. Okay, let's check a couple strategic little elements here that might help us out. Let's go to the ledger, go to the F3 to the armies tab, and then go to the right by one. So page 19. Let's look at the navies. I'm just going to sort by highest total ships because it's going to put the countries that I care about the most at the top. Castile's a naval power, so they're going to have a lot of ships. So here's the thing I'm looking for right now. Castile has 12 transports, meaning, worst case scenario, Castile's going to drop off 12 troops at a time. That's great. Okay, what about...
We have more total ships than England does?
Right this second, yeah. We have one more ship than they do. Of course, we have all light ships, and he's got 4 heavies, which can obliterate our ships. So we're greedy. We're playing super greed mode with ships instead of trying to make combat. But we're not ready to try to... After this war, we'll build some heavies, and then England is just done. The game over for England. But we couldn't really afford to do it yet.
Okay.
So the countries we care about, Portugal has 10 transports, so 10 troops at a time from him. And Aragon, we care about his transport situation as well. He's got 9. So hopefully what will end up happening is...
They'll drop 29 troops on us every single day, and we'll lose.
Well, no, they won't be smart enough to deploy them together as a group. They'll keep dropping off 10 stacks that we will hopefully be able to use Wallace to attack and obliterate. Since they will be on our territory, hopefully he will have sent the transports back to go to try to pick up more men, in which case when we beat the army, they'll have nowhere to retreat to, so the next month we get to stack wipe every army they drop off. So long term, the goal is get a ton of war score from battles, watch the French get obliterated. This war is going to ruin France. We have just sealed their death warrant.
That's fine. We could always just back out of our alliance with them after this war.
Well, we were going to at some point anyway, right? Because he owns land he owns land.
We want. Yep.
Just in general, he owns land. Therefore, he can't be our ally.
Yep.
But
not for anyway.
But looking at if you press the E key to look at the diplomatic map mode, just look at all the red that France is adjacent to.
Yep.
Yeah, he's ruined. He's done. So, good luck, France. Aren't you glad you joined this war?
We promised him land.
He's like, it looked good on paper. Yeah, I'm gonna stay kind of zoomed out because I want to watch. The main thing we got to pay a lot of attention to is the fleet movements, but it's difficult because we have lots of fog of war, and you never know. The French might.
Do we not want our army to go? Oh, I saw a 24 stack in London.
That's really bad. The English managed to pull their entire army back. So because what's his face, John Barrot was an idiot and he didn't engage the 12 stack in Gascony, he gave the English the chance to actually retreat them. And so now we've got a very bad situation on our hands.
Yeah, now we have problems.
Okay, this is going to be a costly war now, and it was going to be before, but it's going to be a lot more than it was a second ago. Okay. We need first things first, we need an army that can match the combat with. If we get flanked, we're going to get wrecked. We have 1 troop that's off in no man's land blocking troops, so our actual troop count is actually 22 minus 1. We have 21 regiments available to fight, and our combat width is 24. We need at least 3 troops right now.
Okay.
And
we can afford that for now.
I would recommend we just go for the infantry. Normally, I would probably consider having up to 4 cavalry, but we just took a tech that bumped up infantry and didn't bump up cavalry, so I'm kind of inclined to lean towards more infantry at the moment.
Let me go have a look at where we could get those, if there's a cheaper cost or not. So I want to click on infantry.
No modifier that I'm aware of that modifies.
Okay, so just the 4 closest, probably. How many did you want?
We need at least 3 to get up to the full combat width.
Let's do 4.
The next thing to consider is that how far off of full combat width, like fighting strength, are we? when we look at our army in Derbyshire, we've got 18 regiments of infantry there, but they have a fighting strength of 16. So we needed 3 to get up to the combat width. You trained 1 extra, which takes us to 17 out of 18. We'd still effectively be 1 unit shy of the combat width if we had to fight tomorrow. Okay. So it's possible.
What is our combat width and how do we see that?
It's on the military tab, F1,
okay.
F2. Mm-hmm. And then it's at the very bottom of that list of numbers there on the left-hand side. Combat width, it's 24.
Got it.
It was just 22 and it went up by 2 when we raised our tech. But also, whoever has the highest combat width determines the combat width in the battle. So it would have been 24 no matter what, because England had tech 6.
All right, you want me to train another unit? You want me 5th?
I was thinking about it, but no. I don't see a battle happening in the next... Well, first off, we have a recovery tick tomorrow. Literally tomorrow. And Wallace the Girthy here is going to recover a solid number of troops into that army.
Good.
So I think we're going to be at the combat width. We have to break the siege of marches. We can't do it. If we try to maintain it, and the English come at us with that stack, because it's a fort in defensive terrain, we will always be the aggressor and we'll take the -1 penalty. So we just have to retreat and hope that he comes and engages us in bad terrain for him, or possibly take.
Remind me how I check. I mean, I'm at the Q menu, so I can see the various colors. Mm-hmm. And why Norfolk is green for marsh, but was it just -1, -2? That was basically all you're going to get, or excuse me, or 1 and 2 rather, or just 0 and 1. Like, what? Remind me how I find that number.
You click on any province.
Yep.
Hover over the actual visual thing at the top of the province tab.
Okay. It's hit. There's so many goddamn pieces of information on the. Okay, got it. Right.
Yeah. So there's only 2 different types of terrain penalty. There's -2 for mountains, and there's -1 for anything else that's not flat. Okay, so that's going to be forest, jungle, marsh, hills, etc.
So we're back in Siege of Marsh is off. So we'll just bring him over to Derbyshire and combine with, unless we're not staying in Derbyshire. I mean, we're staying in there because we're greeting gold ticks. Is that right?
That's what we wanted to do, but everything's changed. Okay, so I'm choosing Northumberland as the place to retreat to. I consider Cumbria and Northumberland to be equivalent, but there's a slight change, which is I've sent the army to Northumbria, and I'm looking at how long it takes to get there. And according to this, we'll get there on March the 14th. If we go to Cumbria through North Yorkshire, we'll get there on the 16th. So what I'm learning here is that it's slightly faster to march from Northumberland to Yorkshire. So if we had to choose one of the 2, I would choose that one based on that criteria.
Okay.
And either he comes to us because he thinks he can win and we just trounce him, which would be awesome, or...
Because we'd have +2. We'd have river. If we were in Northumberland, he attacked us. We'd have river and we'd have marsh.
We'd have +2 plus whatever the difference in our generals is. And if you wanted to check his generals without actually being able to see his army, you can see that in the ledger.
Okay.
I'll go just check it real quick because it's not hard to do. But yeah, I'm thinking. Okay, his best general, he's got a 1200. So Wallace the Girthy kicks English butt.
Good.
That's actually another variable we could throw into the equation if you wanted to. We could chance everything and roll the dice, hire another general, and hope that we get a good one. That could
sounds like a terrible idea.
Massively change the tide of the war. Considering we're 10 years ahead of time on military tech, we're not going to have anything to spend monarch points on for a while. So
no.
Okay, cool. All right, let's just wait and see what happens. So either he comes and he fights us with his huge army, which he probably will because his army's
to die. That dude, rather. He's arriving in Lincolnshire.
Okay, this is bad. You got to cancel the infantry in Yorkshire.
Cancel the infantry in Yorkshire.
See how he's marching into Lincolnshire right now?
Yeah.
He's most likely chasing our army. He's either trying to get to the war goal, which was Lincolnshire, or he's chasing our army. If he's chasing our army, he's going to march through Yorkshire in a second, and that one stack that's training in Yorkshire is not going to be able to join up with the other army. In fact, I would cancel all of the infantry he started.
Damn it, Arumba. All right. And
they're too close. They're too close to the front line.
Were they under 10%? Or are we losing money doing this? We just lost money doing this.
Doesn't matter. We would lose a lot more if they get stack wiped instantaneously. We would
have lost a lot less if we hadn't trained them from there.
Yeah. So
next time, remind me. I guess.
All right. Let's see.
We do need to train more land units, so I'm gonna get some more anyways. I think Lothian would be fine since we have the fort there. Correct?
No, I wouldn't. Yeah, Lothian's fine. Yeah, Lothian. Anything behind the fort.
Anywhere behind Lothian ought to be fine because it's zone of control protected.
Yeah, I wouldn't do Ayrshire. I would do anything behind it, specifically behind it.
Yeah.
So like Wallace the Girthy and Inverness and Aberdeenshire. Yeah. Let's see. How many do we actually need though? You're going. You've got 4 more.
4.
We did 4. 4 puts us at 26 minus the one that's standing over. That's 25. We have combat. I would do 1 less because now we've had an extra month or so to recover, and so Wallace the Girthy's recovery rate has brought us back up to near full combat with. We only really need just 24 troops. Anything beyond that it would be nice, but they're not going to fight in the first round of combat, and the first round of combat is going to decide everything. Turns out he is sticking to the war goal.
We need him to attack us.
Couldn't have known. Couldn't have known that he was going to do that. He could have chased our army, and if he had stacked like those troops.
About cancels. I'm just annoyed that he's not overextending. We could crush him. That would be nice.
Here you can see Gwynedd and Derbyshire getting returned via marches. His army is really large. It's now a 30 stack. Okay, we're going to retreat further. We're going to go behind the fort. The reason being, the -2 penalty in Northumberland would be really important. It'd be nice, but we can't afford to fight and get flanked. We have to buy time to get those extra troops trained. That's more important than being in good terrain. So we're just going to have to...
What is the flanking bonus?
Oh, well, it's just more units. It's just having... If we have 20 and he has 24, then there's 4 extra units that are hurting our units that aren't taking damage themselves at full strength the whole combat. So the longer the combat goes...
I understand how it lays out, but I couldn't remember if there was something else that went with that or not. Okay, it's fine.
It's just... it also, like, if they're flanking, that means that generally their cavalry will deploy in a location where they won't ever take any damage.
Why did he just gain 2 red like squares underneath his character for a second? Rather, not squares, or chevrons, whatever the fuck they are.
You've asked this before. It's because there's 2 separate armies in that tile.
Yep. Okay, that's what I wanted to hear. Cool. Think he'll come up this way?
Now, here's where we absolutely get wrecked completely in this war, is if we don't do the battle with England and win the battle with England soon, and don't get control of the English territory, and then the Portuguese, the Aragonese, the Castilians, and the Papal State are all allowed to bring their troops over piecemeal, and combine them once they're here, we're done.
Yeah.
We're going to be giving back everything we took from England. So that would be really bad. But hey, you know what? They forced our hand. So he's going for a siege in Yorkshire right now. Once we actually have the troops trained out, I do want to bait him into trying to attack us in Northumberland. I'm sorry if I keep trying to take control of the troops again, but
no, it's okay. This got
dicey. Got real dicey real quick.
And you've added that nice timer to reinforcements now 2 months earlier, so it's even dicier.
Now, one other thing to consider is that mercs do train in a quarter of the build time, and this is what I was really afraid of. Interestingly, Tunis gave us money. So Tunis, down on the North African coast, they hate Castile, and they see that we're at war with them, so they're giving us money. That's very nice of them. So this is what I was worried about. You can see the Papal State's landing 5 troops now. They're starting to bring over the armies piecemeal. Mm-hmm. And the French...
Well, let's get this fucking fight out of Yorkshire.
And the French, instead of actually fighting these armies when they had a numeric advantage, they're just sitting on their asses doing sieges. This is so bad.
Yeah, so far, every time we've had a war with allies involved, the allies have been fucking useless.
Yeah, this is really bad.
Okay. Well, we got some gold. We can train some more troops.
Well, training troops
is
is
a second army, so we can
just
have like a 7k army to engage that 5k army, and then the big army to keep the 28k one occupied.
Yeah, an extra army is just going to give us some reinforcements to the primary battle, most likely. At this point, we're so low on manpower, I'd probably consider, if we're going to train any more men at all, we would use merc infantry.
We have a lot of sailors available. Perhaps we could have them...
Give them a gun? No, that's not allowed. Okay, here's what I would like to do, if possible. If England doesn't try to engage us, I would like to try to pick off the Papal States army while it's trying to make its way over to the English. If that could happen, that would be great. So let's wait for this 1 stack to get to Lothian.
Okay.
It gives us a full combat with army.
Okay. They're locked in, so where are they going? They're going to Lancashire, okay. Yeah,
they're just sieging provinces adjacent to our territory. So we got a full combat with army now. We're going to march it down to Yorkshire.
Yorkshire? We want Northumberland. I guess we'd have a +1 roll in Yorkshire because we have a higher mobility general and we control the river. And the river's in between us, rather.
Yes, so it's +1. It's effectively equivalent to being in defensive terrain. But also notice that the army that we're trying to engage right now, the Papal States army, it's movement locked coming from Dogger Bank, and it's doing a naval landing. So it's a -2 to disembark from
And this is both, they're arriving on the 26th of May. They're going to get there first, though. So we're not going to be defender.
Well, damn. Okay. Well, we're still gonna try to crush this army. We're not going to take a river crossing penalty, and he actually has no leader right now.
So that's fine. Let's get him. They're coming back now, England.
At this point, we have to take the fight. It's just going to get worse. If we don't do a fight and win a fight against the English, our situation 6 months from now is going to be worse than it is today. More troops will be dropped off.
We're not going to get Defender in Yorkshire.
Doesn't matter.
And will the river help us or not help us?
It won't affect us in any way because we have 5 maneuver. Whichever general has more maneuver.
But the river is not... Because the river would only help us if we have Defender, and it would only hurt us if we didn't have Defender and our general is slower.
Correct. And also, it doesn't make any difference anymore because we are movement locked, so we're committed to this at this point. But
all right. I'm excited.
Wallace, we're counting on you, man. Let's see. So we're fighting a no-leader Papal State army. First off, let's check tech, because I think I did this earlier, but I want to check again. Papal State, I think, they're on tech 5. We have a huge tech advantage against the Papal State.
Yeah,
so not only do we have... Oh, we might stack wipe it. Well, no, not in 4 days, but... we
don't get a wider army here. I thought we were at maximum width, but we have a bunch of guys behind our guys.
We do, and they will deploy if the combat... when the English join, our infantry will come out of the back row into the front row, but because of where they are right now, they've deployed to try to just engage the army that they're facing.
Oh, I see. Because like a wider stack wouldn't let us fight.
It doesn't actually do anything, exactly. Yeah.
There's a cap on how much flanking helps them.
Yeah, so Wallace didn't roll too well in that first fire phase, but this next shock phase, there's one minor advantage to this technically speaking, bad battle, and that's that since we started the fight already against a much weaker opponent, if the rolls go really bad once the English arrive, we're only going to have to fight them for like 4 or 5 days, and then we can retreat.
Gotcha.
Because the combat will have already been
Is this worth right now queuing up more troops somewhere? With the idea that we'll cancel them based on the outcome of the battle?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's going to have to be mercs to replace the existing troops.
Okay, you want to do that?
Yep, I do. I just wanted to decide for a second how many and where. We have 4 available force limit. After this battle, we're definitely going to have no manpower at all. So we're probably wanting to merc up 6 to 8 merc infantry right now, as many as we can afford for the most part. This is do or die. This is what determines the campaign for us or for England, one or the other. So I'll just go ahead and do it.
I'm not sure I understand why mercs here.
Because they train in a quarter of the time, and because after this battle, we're not going to have any manpower to reinforce anyway, and if you have no manpower, you cannot recover the regiments. They're going to be at weakened strength.
Understand.
So we're in a position now.
Do not count towards your force limit, your manpower.
Yeah. Mercenaries have their own infinite manpower pool. They always recover at full speed, but they cost a lot more. That you'll notice when you look at the price to hire, they're 40% more expensive to hire up front, and they cost 2.5 times as much in maintenance.
Okay.
But hey, if we win this war, we won't care because we're going to take war reps from England, and they're going to pay down our debt. So we're going to go nuts here. We're going to train up 2 in each of the 2 adjacent provinces, and 1 more behind that in Lothian. And beyond that, I honestly, I'm just it has to happen. I'm going to take out a loan manually, and we're going to train up another one in we're training 8 merc infantry right now.
Okay.
With the expectation being that after this battle, we're going to have to consolidate our actual infantry down to get below our force limit.
Okay.
So
they arrive tomorrow.
By the way, Wallace rolled a 9 versus a 6, so he did very well. We're very happy with Wallace. However, the arrival of Henry VIII has just offset the no leader penalty, so they do have a general now. But we still rolled well.
Yeah, but they're reinforcements.
We got a 7 versus a 9 in a fire phase. Notice how we have 2 infantry in the back row who are not making it to the edges. They're being quite stupid right now. Let's just see what this next shock phase is. That's not good. We gotta retreat.
Okay.
So we can retreat in 3 days, unfortunately. Ah, damn.
Okay. Oh, we might get fucking stack wiped. Or,
not wiped. Not wiped, but we did not do well there. Damn it! Okay, well, we still have enough morale for a controlled retreat. We should retreat behind the fort to Wallace the Girthy. And hope...
Behind it or to the fort?
Behind it. Okay. We don't want them to be able to reach us. If we retreat to it, then they can get to it.
Alright, so show me how to I retreat. So again, I select our army. I select the fight here. How do I have the army tab at top. Is there not a retreat somewhere?
No, you just right-click on the province you want to go to. So right-click on have the army, and right-click on Wallace the Girthy.
Yep.
So we lost in total 5,000 of our infantry, 1,400 of our cavalry. No, we're on the left. Crap, we lost way more. Oh my god. We lost 8,000 troops, and we killed 6,600. Bad fight. Very bad fight.
Good,
Wallace, I am disappointed.
He's got time to make it up. He's getting old too.
Are they pursuing us?
We can have him shot if he gets too old.
He
Put
is.
him down.
He is chasing us. This Merc infantry that's going to pop out is going to get instant stack wiped. So he arrives on the 23rd of June. We got to just cancel that Merc.
I gotta say something, Arumba. We have a pop-up, A, but B, I think this is time to cut this. This is a nice tension-building moment as our armies flee and we're getting chased across.
I don't like tension-building moments. Can we please stop those?
No, absolutely not. All right, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you soon.
All right, see you in a bit.